Without confidence, life becomes like a boat drifting in the ocean, without direction, without purpose, no matter how intelligent you may be. If fear and self-doubt control your actions, you will never reach your true potential. Many people live in quiet suffering, afraid to speak, afraid to file, afraid of being seen. Stay with the story until the end, because this might be the turning point you've been waiting for. In a busy city lived a merchant who supported his family by selling salt. He had a small but loving family, a wife and 2 sons. His older son, however, was painfully shy. He barely spoke to anyone, avoided eye contact, and always walked with his head lowered. Because of his silent nature, people often mistook his quietness for stupidity. They took advantage of his simplicity. Yet he never complained. The merchant grew increasingly frustrated with his older son. Every small mistake the boy made led to harsh words and scolding. Over the years, the young man's confidence shattered entirely. His fear even affected his studies. He couldn't write answers properly, his hands shaking with nervousness. Eventually, he stopped trying and lost interest in learning altogether. When he grew older, his father asked him to help with the family business. Wanting desperately not to disappoint his father, the young man agreed. But because he was so anxious, he often made mistakes and struggled to talk to customers. This only angered his father even more. One day, while the merchant was away, a group of cunning men came to the shop and lied to the young man. "Your father told us to collect all the pots and supplies," they said confidently. Believing them, the young man allowed them to take everything. When his father returned and saw the empty shop, he was furious. "You useless boy," he shouted. "You've destroyed everything I built. Leave this house right now and never come back." Those words shattered the young man completely. His father's anger, his family's constant criticism, and his own sense of worthlessness overwhelmed him. Feeling hopeless and convinced he was a failure, he walked toward the river, ready to end his life. Just as he was about to step into the water, an old man appeared and grabbed his hand, pulling him back to safety. The young man cried out, "Why did you save me? My life has no meaning. I can't do anything right." The old man looked at him gently. "My child," he said, "life is precious. God gives it to us only once. If you continue living, you can overcome failure and discover your potential. But if you give up today, you will never know what you could have become." Tears streamed down the young man's face. "I'm stupid, weak. Even my father hates me. I'm barely educated. Everyone calls me useless. Does someone like me even deserve to live?" The old man became serious. "Come with me," he said. Without waiting for an answer, he began walking, confused but desperate for hope. The young man followed him. At the old man's home, he said, "I have a way to help you, but you must follow me for 3 days. Complete 3 tasks, and I promise your life will change." Seeing a spark of hope, the young man agreed. On the first day, the old man instructed him. "Speak with 10 people, ask about their lives, and write down what they tell you." Terrified but determined, the young man approached strangers. His voice trembled at first, but slowly he gathered courage. By the 10th conversation, he realized he wasn't as weak as he thought. On the second day, the old man brought him to a school and said, "Teach these children something useful." The young man panicked. "But I am not educated. What can I teach?" "They do not know that," the old man replied. "Share what you do know." With shaking hands, the young man stood before the children and spoke about the benefits of drinking water. It was a simple lesson, but to his surprise, he did it. The next time he spoke a little longer, and with a little more confidence, he realized something powerful. His fear was beginning to fade. On the 3rd day, the old man said, "Now you must return to your father and apologize." The young man hesitated. "My father will never forgive me." "If you refuse," the old man said, "I cannot give you the final lesson." Gathering every bit of courage, the young man returned home. He humbly apologized and promised to improve himself. Seeing the sincerity in his son's eyes, the father softened and gave him another chance in the business. The young man rushed back to the old man. "Please," he said eagerly, "tell me the secret to success." The wise old man smiled. "You've already discovered it. Your enemy was never Shinasit." was fear. People see you the way you see yourself. If you show confidence, no one will think you are weak. True strength comes from believing in yourself. With tears in his eyes, the young man bowed. I understand now. I won't let fear control me again. Years later, the one shy boy became a successful and respected businessman, admired for both his intelligence and his confidence. Remember, self-confidence isn't something we are born with, it's something we build. Fear holds us back, but courage transforms us. Step out of your comfort zone, believe in yourself, and you will discover a strength you never knew existed.